And we are back here at Booyah Bay in San Jose, California. I am DRF, joined by the one and only Pepe.
Thank you, David. Thank you. No, and I mean, I'm joined by who other than like the CCA man himself. I mean, like today is about Booyah Bay, right?
Oh,
But like CCA
absolutely.
has done like amazing stuff out there if you want to check it out. But like,
Hey, thank you, Pepe. I,
yeah,
I, I do greatly appreciate that. I mean, it's
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 hectic,
it's a
right?
time. It's a time. Yeah. But nonetheless, we are going to be getting into a phenomenal round 3 matchup here
Oh my
between
god.
your 1 and 3 seeds, I believe. It is going to be Mr. New Zealand. Pepe, go ahead and give us the rundown there of Mr. New Zealand here.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so for Mr. New Zealand, this is the #1 seed, seeded team in the tournament. We have Nico, Ziff, Rydia, and Muti. Pretty strong players here, if I do say so myself. Like we have like Nico, who is a Gluga one trick, got top 5 at Reptile this year. Really, really strong. We have a player for healthy, like the
Healthy diet food
healthy diet
groups.
food groups. DevX like Ludi season the 15.
Mm.
Rydia, which is a Splatling player, and then Muti, who was a former like top level player. So wait, are we getting into it, David? Oh
Yeah,
my,
we are absolutely going to get
did not
into
have enough time
this.
to even introduce the other team.
Hey,
Oh my
but
god.
you're gonna see in the blue here that is going to be Rubber Ducks, Kite, Sovlis, Swagger, and Beam, all very respectable players in their own right as well. And we're gonna
Again,
get to see
yeah.
some of the action right here, right now, as we dive into some Splat Zones Umami Ruins. So diving on in here early on, it is going to be Mr. New Zealand with the early cap, but the Rubber Ducks do have the 2-down advantage, and they're going to be able to flip this zone and try to make something
Oh my
happen here.
God.
A beautiful pick there on the Octa shot, and now it's going to be Sovlis with the trip strikes, trying to create a barrier between the members of Mr. New Zealand and the objective. 30 seconds in, and the Rubber Ducks are in a fantastic position here, Pepe.
This is kind of insane. Like freaking Rubber Ducks already getting a strong start here, but it looks like Mr. New Zealand is trying to get back into this in the map. They had a really rough start here, but it looks like Mr. New Zealand is getting a grip on here. Having Kai with the Zuka, you know I love me the Zukas. Unfortunately, not getting one, but Kai over here is just trying to get some control in mid.
Oh, absolutely. It's very highly contested mid right now. This next team fight will determine a lot, as the Oxshot's going to go down. The Glugas are going to go down as well. Bomb going to be thrown out by Sovlis, forcing the rest of the New Zealand members to jump back. Muti going to bail out with the cooler. They're going to be able to get back in pretty quickly, though. But it is all Rubber Ducks at this stage, and the Trip Strikes coming out to continue to push them back.
Beam is being a menace here. Like you see him like just having their control on their side of the map. Beam trying to get something here. Hopefully he is gonna get like some kind of
we lost the feed here for just a second, though. We'll get it back. There we go.
We're back.
But Mr. New Zealand is going to be back in control in that very short window of time. So it looks like the flank from Beam did not quite work out. But honestly, very ambitious play there nonetheless. And now Nico going to run it down here, but it's going to get caught out by Sovlis. Sovlis going to win a 2v1 there, essentially, picking off one and then the other. But it is Mr. New Zealand that is slowly ticking away at the scoreboard. And Sovlis finally going to be able to make a move in here with the rest of the Rubber Ducks. Beam trying to take control of top mid, but it is all Mr. New Zealand that has that position right now. But that is going to be the mini splatling that goes down. The T-Tech's going to go down, though, in return. It's once again a hotly contested zone, and Mr. New Zealand holds on. They are on the cusp of a victory here, Pepe.
Like, David, this is insane. Like, I like how back and forth like these teams have been getting. Unfortunately, though, Rubber Ducks did not get the cap on the push. So this is going to be pretty detrimental unless if they get some kind of cap here. Oh my god, with the Booyah Bomb, and that looks to be it. If only Rubber Ducks got that cap in the middle, they would have had a chance because it looked pretty even. The whole match, I mean, we were like back and forth on each other's bases. So I'm wondering like how that affected like their mental.
Yeah, Rubber Ducks did look really strong there early on, and I do agree because we saw the Zuka and the Trip Strikes that were unleashed there onto that left zone, but they just weren't able to follow through with it. It seemed like the specials came in from long distance, but it came in a way that we saw that Mr. New Zealand was able to hold some of those key positions, especially top mid, to just ensure that there was no rush in following those specials.
Exactly.
So I think that there was maybe a slight missed opportunity there. Like I could recognize that they needed to dive in for that zone, but they needed to almost in a way spread out the specials a little bit too, because all of it was focused on the zone and Mr. New Zealand painted right through it.
Exactly. Like we're talking about players who know how to push, players who know
Mhm.
how to like win a match. I mean, these players like know exactly what it takes to get cap, like get control and not lose. So having these opportunities where we have Beam who was like rushing in pretty fast. Like Beam was doing like quite strong there as well with Soft, which was like pretty strong like shooters. So
Oh yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. I mean, Sov was like doing a fantastic job there. Every time the camera was panning to them, like they were making a pretty solid
exactly.
play. So, they managed to get a couple of massive picks there, but ultimately it's just the I feel like it was really came down to, the most recent team fight there. Mr. New Zealand was able to win that one out and then convert that into the lockout that we saw, because there was a number of different team fights that went down, and Rubber Duckies they were winning most of them, but they just could never find themselves in the position to fully lock out, and that's what you need to see happen on Umami zones.
Exactly. And like, I mean, looking at these teams right now, it seems like they they are trying to plan out a specific strategy. I
Mm.
feel like for Beam having to push in, that is just a great opportunity for Rubber Ducks to have an opportunity to push in. Now, as we see here, Undertow Rainmaker, how is that going to change within like their mentality? How they're going to push? Because Rubber Ducks got an amazing opening. So, are we going to see that in this match as well?
Yeah, it certainly could be the case, but let's take a look at these compositions.
The stamper.
So
I'm sorry, Dave, but the stamper. There's a stamper there. Let's see how much this is going to change
I'm
the tides.
I'm pretty intrigued to see how this stamp is going to work out here as both teams dive on into mid. Rubber Ducks will win the initial pop to kick things off here in game number 2, trying to tie up this set. Rubber Ducks, another wonderful
Look at
start
this.
there, able to find 2. And now they have Mr. New Zealand staggered. They try to bait them right and swing it left, and it is an absolutely clear checkpoint. Rubber Ducks ready for liftoff here. They are moving in. They are in a fantastic position, have the numbers advantage. I don't even think a member of Rubber Ducks has gone down yet
Yeah,
until just
until
now.
just
The
now.
NZAP finally going to go down for the first time this game. And that is a
What?
wipeout.
This is insane.
Oh.
Rubber Ducks is just having so much control here. I mean, we're literally talking about one of the best like openers that I've ever seen. Like when it comes to this map, because getting up to 23 points within less than a minute in this map, like what?
It's hard enough to knock out on Rainmaker Undertow in the first place, and Rubber Ducks are flirting with that now. They are so close to making it happen, but finally, Mr. New Zealand gets a little bit of their footing here in finally with a minute into the game.
Yeah.
So they're gonna go ahead and force that Rainmaker to reset, but Rubber Ducks is not letting up on the aggression in the slightest. Beam on that 52 gal, popping the shield, trying to force Mr. New Zealand to make some rash
Nice.
plays here. And no, stop it, Beam. You cannot get away with that.
Beam is going
Oh.
ham here. I mean, like for these players, like the last match, I was gonna say like for the last match on Mr. New Zealand, like they knew how to like counter pick, how to counter the opening, but clearly like Rubber Ducks is just getting so much control here. Like they know how to push, they know how to like get control here. We see the Zipcaster on the Stamper here. Are they gonna get someone close? Oh, but they get an assist. That was huge.
They will get probably about 4 more points on the board. Definitely knew they were going to get some points there. It's just a question of how many. And it seemed like, they possibly could have forced a few more points, but nonetheless, we are approaching the halfway mark in this game, and we have yet to see a Mr. New Zealand push. The Rainmaker finally going to reset. It's going to continue to be Rubber Ducks in control, but finally Mr. New Zealand does get the pop as well. An opportunity to grab here, but Beam using this shield so effectively to just force Mr. New Zealand to really hesitate We're
Mhm.
seeing a lot of hesitation right now on the side of Mr. New Zealand. And look at that 2v1 play. Sovin being taken down one, but it's going to be 2 for 2. But it's Mr. New Zealand that is on the back foot now, because I believe with the Rubber Ducks, they did have that cooler active, so they're going to be quicker into action. Quickly picking this up now. Swagger trying to lead the charge here alongside Beam, trying to move this up beyond the checkpoint, but Ziff is going to be diving on in. A great shark to stop the push early.
Goodness gracious, like, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about like a team who completely switched their mentality from getting picked off in the first match to now like gaining control. Like, Mr. New Zealand has again not gone a single point here, so Rebel Ducks is just getting a really like strong like control on the whole entire map. I feel like for a good change of this, which is what we may see right now, is for Mr. New Zealand to just get those picks against Beam and Solve. Like, those two shooters are extremely important when it comes to their pushes. But David, are you seeing this? Oh my god.
Oh, yeah, that was a huge pick on Swagger, but it's a Beam with the flank and is able to find a couple of huge picks there. But nonetheless, Mr. New Zealand with the cooler rushing back in a fantastic position here with the 3 down on the side of Rubber Ducks. They should be able to clear this checkpoint with under a minute to go. Mr. New Zealand has some life in them here in game number 2, in a game that has been largely dictated by Rubber Ducks up to this point. Muty will be the Rainmaker carrier here. They're starting to make a move. The Killer Whale is coming out now as well. They're going to go ahead and take the Greats. The Greats is such a gutsy move here. They're going to have to take this one pretty slow and cautiously. Everybody rotating that direction. But here's the flank again from Solve. Oh, what a pick there. And it's 3 down, Mr. New Zealand. We're on the cusp of a game 3 here in round 3 of the Swiss stage. Nico makes the jump, trying to hide, but you can't hide on the Greats. Rubber Ducks, 15 seconds to go, 2 specials in their pockets. They are looking to force a game 3 here in the Swiss stage on stream, but
wait a
it's
minute.
not
Wait a
over
minute.
just yet,
Mr. New Zealand
Pepe.
has a response. Okay, this is overtime right now. They were strong on that last push. It was just by one person who got that pick out of Rainmaker, and probably some other aspects. But right now, we have Mr. New Zealand trying to get a few picks here. They are using Zuka on the left side.
Oh, look at
Not
Kite.
getting any
Look at
picks.
Kite making the move. No, but they get found out. It's 2 down, Rubber Ducks.
Wait,
It's going to
2
come down to
down?
this push. So making an early move, possibly just jumping the gun a little bit. Beam gonna get shut down as well. The pathway is open.
It's not over.
It is over. Holy Mr. New Zealand comes from behind late in this one to survive this game and the set. They pull it off. Wow, what a game between these two. This was Rubber Ducks navigating the whole way, and Mr. New Zealand, I don't know how they pulled that one off. It just seemed like Rubber Ducks started to get a little bit antsy there right at the very end. They tried to make some quick hero plays before it got out of control, but I think that's what led it to become out of control and open that pathway. It rolled out the red carpet for that Rainmaker to just walk on through. 18 points remaining. It is a 2-0 set in favor of Mr. New Zealand.
I was truly hoping, David. I'm not gonna lie. I was hoping for game 3 because
I was too. I'm
God,
like,
man,
we had 2 very back and forth games there, and I wanted to see it go to a game 3.
No, I'm kidding. I mean, with these like strong players, like who wouldn't? Like that last second push. Like, the unfortunate thing about the Rubber Ducks, like they did like go like down one at a time. They got staggered at the most important time, and if only they were as strong to not let Mr. New Zealand even get a chance to get that push for a lead, that may have been it for Rubber Ducks. But unfortunately, not going to be the case.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen a little bit more special build up there at the very end. Just kind of focus your efforts there. Just keep paint down in front of you, but actively building up towards those specials that could have ended the game. But they had a number of really good ideas, but it turned into a stagger. So which is the unfortunate thing. But nonetheless, Mr. New Zealand played that last minute beautifully. As long as the opponent hasn't knocked out, the game isn't over. So Mr. New Zealand may have been on the back foot for a solid 3+ minutes there, but they just said, hey, we need one opportunity. one opportunity
Yep.
is all we're looking
That's all.
for, and we'll be able to make something happen.
And they clearly showed it. They showed that last minute lead. It was so close, man. Like,
Oh,
man,
absolutely.
like I feel so bad for the Rubber Ducks truly because like not only like are they like just great players and they played that match strong. Like
Oh,
it
yeah,
was their
for sure.
match the whole day, like the whole time. Like and it's just that last second, like it just shows you like for top like level as we see here that it is never safe no matter what. If the timer's still going, there's always an opportunity. Just like that from
Yep.
what you saw. There's always a time where people can get the lead, can get a counter lead.
Absolutely. So beautiful job there from
Mhm.
Mr. New Zealand. They,
Very good job.
they recognized the things that they needed to get done in order to pull off that set, and they went out there and did it. So for Rubber Ducks, that will push them to a 2-1 record here in the Swiss stage. But nonetheless, I am sure that we will see both of these teams make
Oh,
a
yeah.
run here in Top Cut.
Oh, yeah.
These are some of the biggest, baddest players that Splatoon has to offer.
Yeah.
So we'll probably have a date with one of them ourselves.
I'm looking forward to it.
At
No,
some
I really
point.
am.
Yeah,
Really am.
in that bracket. So it should be a lot of fun. I definitely think that there is a lot of fantastic teams here, and this is going to be probably one of the most unpredictable locals that
Yeah.
we have had.
I mean, we're talking about teams who like are having like interesting comps, interesting weapons, such as like having a one trick decker. I mean that was insane
Yeah,
to see.
honestly, you really don't see that often, but
Mhm.
it's gonna be these are teams to watch out for.
Now
For sure.
I'm curious, David. Like out of the both teams that we watched, what team like are you looking to face the most from your end?
I mean, we've got a chance to scrim Rubber Ducks a little bit,
We
so
did,
I would
yeah.
like to, kind of put that into practice
On LAN, for
on
sure.
LAN. So
Yes.
I'm looking forward to a possible matchup with them, but nonetheless, I mean, if we get a chance to play all three of them, that would be kind of hot.
Honestly, I'm if there is a way, really truly, because like I'm sure
Because we got on crack already,
we did,
you
we did,
know,
we did get on crack.
now we just need Rubber Ducks and Mr. New Zealand. The winner of this tournament is going to have to beat all three of these other teams that are like in this group of four, because these four are just standouts,
Mhm.
instant standouts. But of course, there's still a whole lot of other teams. We have how many teams? Like 15 teams.
15,
So
15 for sure.
it really it's anybody's game still.
Mhm.
But I am excited to see how the rest of this one shakes out. But I believe that does actually conclude the Swiss stage here at Booyah Bay. So if I recall correctly, I believe we're going to be taking a bit of a break
Yes.
as Top Cut gets sorted out and the rest of the Swiss matches get inputted into the bracket.
Yes.
But Top Cut should be coming your way in a little while. So I think Tio's might be trying to grab some pizza first.
Oh yeah, Rice is doing a thing right now. Over there.
Woo! What are we cheering for? I don't know. Anyways, well,
Right?
let's wrap this one up.
Wrap it up.
So, Pepe, plug yourself real quick.
Yeah, I mean, I'm Pepe. Yeah, you can see on not Twitter anymore, so it'll be on Blue Sky. I'm Pepe dash Pep dash P, and yeah, I do Sunset Search, Arizona TO. You gotta represent, and then how about you, David?
Yeah, DRF_Splatoon on Twitter and Train DRF on Twitch. But as always, you'll find me over at the CCA covering all things collegiate Splatoon. Top Cut action at Booyah Bay coming your way soon.